This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. As if it wasn't bad enough, Archewell is delinquent. Nigeria's human rights group is now asking for an investigation into the allocation of funds to this Fugazi public quasi royal tour that Harry and Meghan went on in Nigeria. Nigerian local news source, Platinum Post, writes, a non governmental civil rights advocacy group, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURAWA, was called for a comprehensive investigation into the recent visit of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, to Nigeria. The association expressed concerns regarding the funding of the visit, questioning whether it was accounted for in any existing budget allocation, and demanded transparency concerning who financed the trip. Hirawa also condemns that it calls extravagant hosting of wives of African presidents in Abuja, Nigeria, at a time millions of Nigerians are confronting the costs of living crisis and adverse economic crunch, with over 133 million Nigerian households in multidimensional poverty and over 18 million Nigerian children who are out of school. These frivolous expenditures of scarce public funds are despicable and condemnable, Hurawa said in a statement signed by its national coordinator, Emmanuel Anewubiko, on Tuesday. Hurawa also conveyed bewilderment over the official protocols extended to the royal couple during their visit, especially in light of the British government's explicit disassociation from the trip. The visit, purportedly initiated at the invitation of Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, had raised questions about its funding source and official endorsement, particularly as it was clarified by British High Commissioner Dr. Richard Montgomery that the visit was of a private nature and not affiliated with the British government. Despite this clarification, Prince Harry and Meghan were accorded significant diplomatic courtesies, raising concerns about the involvement of Nigerian government departments and the expenditure of public funds for a private engagement.
May I announce the arrival of our special guest, His Royal Highness, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. We also have Honorable Minister of Defense, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammad bin Abubakar, and his Institute staff.
Who emphasized the imperative for accountability and transparency in public expenditure, especially given Nigeria's ongoing socioeconomic challenges, including protests by detained soldiers over poor living conditions and inadequate facilities. The association questioned whether the financing of the royal couple's visit was included in any existing government budget, and, if so, which department allocated funds for this purpose. Additionally, Hurua underscored the absence of reciprocity in diplomatic engagements, noting that while Nigeria hosted the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, there is no historical precedent of Nigerian royalty being hosted by European nations. According to the premier civil rights advocacy group, this raises concerns about the allocation of public funds for a visit that may not align with diplomatic norms and priorities. Quoting extensively from a British tabloid, Mail Online News report, which detailed the luxurious accommodations and extensive itinerary of Prince Harry and Meghan during their visit, Hura further highlighted the need for transparency regarding the financial implications of their stay, including the costs of security arrangements and accommodations at the Fraser Suites in Abuja. Is it correct to say that the defense headquarters financed the visit since they are widely quoted as host? We in Hura questions the prioritization of such alleged expenditures if verified that the defense headquarters funded the trip, and this is distressing because of the pervasive pressing issues such as the welfare of wounded soldiers and ongoing security challenges. As a pro-democracy, non-governmental, and not-for-profit organization, we call for accountability measures to ensure that resources are allocated judiciously to address urgent national priorities. Why would the defense headquarters allocate funds for a private visit if, as hosts, it is confirmed that the defense headquarters financed the elaborately expensive trip while detained soldiers protest against inadequate feeding conditions and detention facility standards. What efforts has the Nigerian Defense Headquarters made to support the hundreds of soldiers wounded and incapacitated by terrorists while defending our nation? This underscores the significance of initiatives like the Invictus Games championed by Prince Harry and Meghan, which highlights the importance of rehabilitation for wounded war veterans. Hirua is demanding full disclosures on the part of key government officials, including Chief of Defense Staff, regarding the status of the financing of the private visit. The disturbing protest staged by the detained Nigerian army personnel at the Sokoto barracks highlights grave concerns over the conditions within military detention facilities. Major General Anayema his acknowledgement of the protests as unfortunate and embarrassing reflects the severity of the situation and the urgent need for accountability. We echo the call for a comprehensive inquiry to determine the extent of similar issues across detention centers, emphasizing that such conduct undermines the integrity of the armed force. In conclusion, Hiro has reiterated the importance of transparency and accountability in government expenditures and diplomatic engagements. The association urged relevant authorities to conduct a thorough probe into the financing and decision-making process surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan's visit to Nigeria, with a focus on ensuring that public funds are utilized in the best interests of the Nigerian people. Nigerians are definitely talking about this visit, but not in the good way that Meghan and Harry want. They want to know if their taxpayer dollars went to this garbage. And rightfully so. For the most part, Nigerians express their sentiment in which they don't think that Harry and Meghan bring anything to the table, such as FlameX Hosting said on Reddit, "Yeah, we're aware of Harry and his wife are in the country and we don't care because their presence or coming wouldn't translate to anything positive after all. Nothing special or spectacular, and 98% of Nigerians don't care. They're worried about security, food rise, failing economy, corruption. The list can go on, and Harry's presence wouldn't bring an answer to that, but just another avenue for greedy government officials to steal from the nations, as they have always done. So yes, we know he visited, and we don't give a cent about it." That appears to be the real consensus of the people of Nigeria and how well this tour went down. It actually went down like the Titanic. Make no mistake, Meghan and Harry are going to continue to put this gloss over this bag of shite. They will continue to push these sugary sweet puff pieces out into the media, forcing this false narrative of how they were so loved in Nigeria. Meanwhile, this is not going to stop or deter Meghan from stopping and reflecting on her behavior, her actions. She's going to continue forward with conducting herself in the same manner. Folks, they're not going to stop at Nigeria. As I've said before, their intention is to become the king and queen of the Commonwealth. It's not only Nigeria they're going to visit, they're going to most likely visit other Commonwealth countries. And it's indicative that this is what exactly their plan is, as they wrote in this little write-up on Sussex.com. The Duke and Duchess would like to extend their deepest gratitude to all the event organizers, military officials, and the whole Nigerian community for their tremendous hospitality and the first of many memorable trips. Now, does anybody think that Meghan and Harry plan on going back to Nigeria? I doubt it. However, the grift will certainly continue. The question is, which country are they going to pillage next? My guess, if we look at all the Commonwealth countries, it would be Lesotho next because of Harry's connection with Sentabali. No doubt, Meghan and Harry, specifically Meghan, will leech off of the royalty over there and make this tour all about her, not about the charity. I can also see, being that Meghan is so petty and always wants to one-up Catherine, putting together a Caribbean tour in which I could totally see her stopping first off in Barbados. Now, I hope Leilani is ready for that and would be looking forward to her commentary should Meghan and Harry decide to go and grace Barbados with their presence. I could totally see Meghan and Harry swindling and scamming these governments to have an all-expense-paid luxury vacation to the Bahamas, Antigua, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, St. Kitts. They'd be island hopping for like at least 3 weeks on the dime of the Commonwealth or these governments. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next because this is obviously the path that they seem to be going down because, hey, the grift is real. And look at how easy Nigeria made it for them to have all this diplomatic treatment when they're just private citizens. In the comments below, which country do you see Meghan calling her home next? If I had to bet, the next choice logically would be Barbados. And the reason why is because not only do they have some of the most beautiful beaches and luxury accommodations, but it would also be another way of sticking their middle fingers up at King Charles. Because let's not forget that Barbados recently, I mean, within the last 2 years, sought independence and no longer is part of the institution. And I think that that is something that Meghan and Harry would definitely exploit in the sense of being anti-monarchists, because that's exactly what Meghan and Harry are, traitors to the crown. My gorgeous, good-looking friends, this is far from over, and I do believe that the floodgates are gonna start opening. This scrutinization, if it continues and more noise is made around it, will expose Meghan and Harry for what they are, true grifters and up to no good. With the recent news of Archewell being delinquent in their filing, that could now start a probe or prompt into the IRS looking into auditing Archewell Fugazi Public Charity. No doubt in my mind, money is being moved in some way or in some form that is yet to be uncovered, but I believe it will. It will come out to expose whatever dirtiness that is going on. I'm highlighting this article because no doubt it will be suppressed as a result of media here in the United States pushing out more propaganda for Harry and Meghan. They're going to do everything they possibly can to keep this very quiet and on the down low. And I don't think it should. I think attention needs to be raised to it because the more noise this makes, the more we will get this transparency and accountability. So my friends, please do me the huge favor and like this video so it can reach a broader audience. And on that note, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe and I will talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.